Brian Sapp here with another NRW checkpoint. Sorry, I had to say my mic was on. What's going on, Brian? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. So we recorded last week,
Mm-hmm.
and we recorded the day before the state of play. So since
hmm
it's happened already, what are your thoughts?
it was okay. We talked about it, um, because it happened the day after we recorded, but we had already received information that was happening.
Right.
Um, so if I remember correctly, we were both, at least hoping that Sony had something worth, showcasing, worth the state of play. And I feel like there were a lot of games, or a couple games, I should say, that I was interested in. Let me pull up the thing because I did see a few on there that I was like, okay, I might be interested in getting this.
Right.
While I find that, did you see any games that you felt like were worthy for a state of play or that piqued your interest at all?
I think overall,
Mhm.
I thought it was pretty lackluster from a
Okay.
standpoint of what maybe like we talked about Sony really showcasing what they were doing.
hmm
And that's like, I would say honestly, a big mystery in gaming right now. Like, what is Sony doing? We keep hearing all these rumors about all these games that have been delayed or isn't delayed, not delayed, canceled.
hmm
Um, so I think I was disappointed in that regard. We got another remaster, which how many times? How are you going to remaster a game you didn't even want to do a sequel to? I don't understand that.
Right.
Um, and then most of these games, if not, I say a large majority of these games,
hmm
are multi-platform. And again, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. I just would have expected a bit more first party sprinkled in. So that
Yeah.
was my thing. I think for me, the game that really caught my attention was I think it was Mind's Eye.
Okay.
Yeah, that game really caught my attention, and hearing more about it after the fact, how it was like the former head of like the GTA studio, because I got GTA vibes from watching the trailer.
Okay.
Like that game got my attention. Oh, the Shinobi game, I was like, oh yeah, this is right up my alley. I
Right.
definitely was looking forward to that. And I think a lot of people talked about the Ties of Annihilation game. I don't know if I
Okay.
was so enamored with it, but I get it.
Yeah. What
How about
about
you?
I thought you would have maybe been interested in was it WWE 2K25, the
Look,
island?
another way for 2K to milk more money out of you, they just put it in 2K. Nah, nah. It's just funny. As much as I enjoy wrestling,
Uh-huh.
I have not been a humongous fan of wrestling games since like say 360 era,
I
360 PS2
mean,
era for some reason. I just haven't been. And that did nothing to entice me. All I saw was they're putting all the crap in 2K that I hate into WWE. And I'm like, oh, that's the reason I don't want to buy it. I don't want
right.
any of that stuff.
I saw that and I was like, so Webster's gonna have a problem with this
Yep.
because I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is well, I'm not gonna say everybody, but this is most people, at least who feel the same way we do. This is their biggest complaint about 2K is them like
Yep.
they they're not innovating the game. They're just adding different ways in there to like monetize it
This
and
is the thing
saying
with
like,
that.
oh, what's that?
This is the thing with that. I
hmm
would have no issue with those sort of things if the games didn't come out every year.
Right.
That is my issue. Since it's a yearly game, you're basically re-upping this every single year. That's my problem with it. If it was like, for instance, I think that we've gotten to a point now where sports games can be a live service sort of thing.
Yeah, they should be because sports in real life are technically live service, or not technically, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
It would just make sense that sports games would be live service and the rosters would be able to update the same or as they update in the season in the real world. Like that
Right.
would just make the most sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think you just sell a base game, and especially like this generation
Hmm.
has, for instance, just like they're doing with this, right?
Right.
With 2K25 is coming out for previous gen systems or PS4 at least, but
Okay.
the online functionality isn't a part of that. That's perfectly fine. Allow
Okay.
those people to buy the DLC or whatnot. You can't really participate online. Why? Because of generations, and I get it. But
Hmm.
something like this, you introduce it, maybe you're like, this should have been like 2K22. And
Okay.
then you re-up every year. I said this before about like 2K or even Madden. Like you just charge an extra $20 every year for a pass that gives you like the new season and extra features and whatnot. I think that for a consumer, I think most consumers would be fine with that, especially if they're
Mhm.
people who buy it every single year.
Right.
Um, and I would say Call of Duty, but Call of Duty does have its online
Yeah, that
live
Warzone
service
thing.
game part of
Yeah.
that. But that's what I think. And then, every 5 years or so, or 3 years or so, like
Hmm.
you come out with a brand new game.
That would make sense. And I don't
That's
understand
what I
why
think.
that just wouldn't be the thing. That's what I think too. I mean, that makes the most sense. Like, it doesn't have to be new game every year, somebody new on the cover, but it don't really matter who on the cover because you can't own the covers anymore. Like,
Right,
is
right,
it? These are
right.
like, just let us play the game, and then when the rosters change over in the real world, just do a quick update. Like it's crazy because I know we're about to talk about Marvel Rivals next, but it's
Mhm.
crazy that a game like that or like Overwatch can, or even shit, even Warzone for Call of Duty, you could just roll through these seasons. The same game, just a nice, a nice size patch with some buffs, some nerfs, maybe some new characters and new maps, some quick changes to things, bug fixes, and sending us on our way. We happy. It's like we're playing a new game all over again. But 2K is like, oh no, can't do that. There's no physical copies, but we're gonna sell you these digital copies at the same price every year, or it's gonna go up depending on what you planned on, and just act like this is a new game, but it's not. So reskin with a roster update. That's all patch worthy. Even if you want to DLC it out, like it's still updatable. It shouldn't have to be a brand new download. That's crazy to me. But I've found my list here. So I was already interested in the Monster Wilds game. They just gave more information about that on the state of play.
Right.
The Shinobi Art of Vengeance game does look good. I'm excited for that. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I'm confused a little bit because we already have a Sonic Racing game. So I'm wondering,
Isn't
like,
it like the third or fourth one in the series though?
I don't even remember it. I know
Because
the
I have the
last one that,
first one on the 360. Well,
okay.
it's from the 360 era, but I have the
Okay,
first
well, yeah, that would make sense. And then the
one.
most
So
recent one just came out on like current gen platforms, maybe what, a year or two ago?
yeah, so I think it's like the third or fourth one.
Yeah. And then the Digimon Storytime Stranger game. I'm just a Digimon fan, so I'll be interested to check that out. Lost Soul aside, that one looked really good. Uh, I like this collaboration for Dave the Diver. I don't know if you remember, but I talked about how I played the demo on the Switch, and the game
Right.
is really good. Like, I really enjoy the game. So now they have this like, I don't know, collab DLC where who's going to be in this game? Somebody's going to be in the game that's like, I wasn't expecting that, but it was really cool. Borderlands 4 got a release date. I just recently got into Borderlands, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I played they had like a bundle collection of all the games. I was like, okay, might as well give it a try. This is, the, I guess, grandfather of that style of game. So like the
Right.
Hell Divers and well, not even because Borderlands is first person or like Outriders and stuff. Well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, Borderlands has been an innovator within the gaming space. I was like, might as well try it, and I liked it. So I'm gonna probably check out Borderlands 4 when it comes out. Split Fiction. I'm waiting on that since the trailer
Yeah,
from
it looks pretty cool.
the Game Awards. Yeah, and I like that. only one person has to have the game. Like if I buy it, I want to play with you. You don't have to download or buy the game. I could just share it, and we could go through the story together with the co-op stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Um, what was the other one? There's one other one that I was like, this game was crazy. Oh, the Lies of P Overture. Oh, I don't know if it's a DLC or a new game, but
Yeah, it's DLC.
that looks fantastic. It makes me want to play just Lies of P in
Yeah,
general.
Lost Pre is pretty cool. Like you
Okay.
should, if you get a chance, definitely play that bad boy. That's a pretty cool game.
Yeah, I want to play that, and then I think that was it. There was a they talked about this Met game, I believe. It was, let me see. There was a game where they were talking about he be inside some robots and it's a group thing. Which
I'm not familiar.
game was that? Maybe that was a separate trailer that came out like right after
Okay.
there. But either way, those are the games that caught my attention the most from the PlayStation State of Play.
Okay.
Like you said, a little lackluster, but ultimately, I don't know. I didn't go into it. I wanted better for Sony, but I just knew they wasn't going to deliver.
See, that's
So,
the thing.
uh,
I want it better because they haven't done anything.
right.
And you got that one game, Soros or whatever it is, that's it's PlayStation first party, but they didn't
Don't
show
do it.
anything. They just showed that
Right.
CGI trailer. You think it's like a roguelike bullet hell sort of 3D thing, but you don't really know. And that
Right.
was it.
And they kind of moved on.
Yeah, yeah. So I was disappointed in that regard. I mean, all in all, I mean, I saw some really cool games there. I just think that, and I reiterate again,
Oh, yeah, the Ceros game.
there's nothing from Sony in a Sony play to state of play. You would
Right.
never see Microsoft do anything like that and not see first party games, not see
Which
first party what's going on.
I wonder like how that's going to change moving forward. Because did you hear about like Microsoft's plan moving forward? Like they
Yeah, I heard
know.
that shit. This is the first time this whole thing has made me mad. The first time this whole like don't put other people's logos up there when you announce games like this. Look, I don't like it all the way, but do it after the fact. Don't give other people shine at your showcase. That's my issue with it. Like
What?
don't give other people shine. Just
Yeah.
let people like that's the stuff you say on Twitter. You don't say that when you're at the showcase. You'll say, yeah, it'll be dropping first on Xbox and Game Pass. Then it'll be on Switch 2 and PS5 in the spring. No, you say that for later. You know,
Yeah,
just like they did with Indiana Jones. They say that crap for later. They didn't announce that. Look, they didn't spoil their diehards. They did it after the fact. And
yeah,
let somebody do it else do it. They let Jeff Keighley do it. I'm like, that's how you do it. Okay. Or
yeah,
you do like, oh, yeah, our 3-year-old racing game that everybody loves has 44 million players. Yeah, we're randomly drop a Twitter post. Yeah, it's coming to PS5 in like 2 months. Okay. I'm
yeah.
cool with that.
Right.
When you
Or just
announce it on your stage, that's a problem.
oh
Because
yeah, or just let those respective platforms announce it
no, not
themselves.
you do that. No, you don't. You don't give them the satisfaction. You don't.
I
Maybe
would
Nintendo. Look,
I
Nintendo's different. Look,
yeah, they
Nintendo's different because Nintendo is, in my opinion, when they announced Banjo and GoldenEye, they're very good about talking about Microsoft and their
hmm
partnership with Microsoft. So that's why I say Nintendo's different.
okay.
Sony, Sony act like they too good.
And they don't talk about anything.
That's my point.
Even
Sony
if
act
it's a
like they too good.
multi-platform game, they're gonna make it seem like
Look,
only on PlayStation.
right. I don't even think they even with Horizon's Lego, did they even announce that on Nintendo on their stage? I think it was like an after fact or after
Yeah,
the announcement.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they did. So that's what I'm talking about. It's like, don't announce it on your stage. Don't put that. Look, it's just a matter of getting people excited, and then you give all the details later. Like when you're on your stage, you don't talk about any other company on your stage. One of the best things, um, and this is Astro Boy and their developers.
Hmm.
Every single time they talk about how inspirational Mario 64 was without saying anything about Mario 64. But we all know, like, you can talk about other people, other
Right.
games, and whatnot, but you don't name drop on your
Right.
stage. And especially when you work for, XYZ, you don't name drop. And it's a matter of respect there.
And I
In
agree
my
with that.
opinion.
I agree with that. That's why I wanted to ask because I'm listening to what's his name, Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about basically how Microsoft and Xbox they're like revamping that entire brand and making it less about trying to get players to buy Xboxes when instead just get them to um buy Game Pass and get popular games from Xbox over on PlayStation to entice people to consider Game Pass who are
Yeah.
PlayStation owners.
And I think we talked about that as well when they first announced those first four games. That's
Mhm.
exactly one of the things we talked about. We said it would be to get people exposed to those games and then
Mhm.
get them potentially get Game Pass or
Yeah.
get them to potentially buy an Xbox for a potential sequel.
Yes.
And that's what we said. And then I don't think it's not a smart strategy. I just think that you should not be broadcasting and advertising other game companies on your platform,
And
on
I
your
agree.
stage. That's my only thing. Like I don't
I
care
agree.
about them coming. As long excuse me, the two I don't care about them coming. I do care if it's day and date. I do care if it's day one. I do. I
That
really
makes
do.
sense.
Because I think that if that was the case, then there would be a really big issue going forward for them. There is no incentive to have an Xbox if those things are day and date. If they come
Right.
after the fact, that's fine. You trying
Right.
to get some more money out of it? Because I think I referenced that I heard I don't know if I read it or I heard of somebody's podcast and they were talking about it and Microsoft announced that Forza Horizon 5 had 44 million players. Now I don't know if that's concurrent or just they've had since the life of the game,
Mm-hmm.
44 million people, different users have played that game
Right.
since it came out, what, 2, 3 years ago.
Right.
That's impressive
It is.
when you think about it. And then you potentially add, I think PlayStation 5 supposedly 75 million units now, which is actually kind of crazy when you think
Mm.
about it, considering they ain't pushing no games. Um, that's really the baffling part.
Yeah.
And also the attach rate is garbage, which is really a surprise. That's another conversation. But when you hear about Nintendo and hell, there are more. I don't know if it's Mario Kart 8. I think there are more copies of Mario Kart 8's been sold than actual like Nintendo Switches or something. It's some ridiculous number
Yeah.
an
The,
attach rate for a lot of Nintendo first party games. And then I hear about Sony first party. It's like, yeah, so and so sold 5 million. You sold 5 million games and there's 75 million PlayStation 5s out there. That's kind of ridiculous when you think about it,
yeah, I
in
agree.
comparison to say like a Nintendo. But no, I
Right.
do have an issue with that. From just a business perspective, not even being an Xbox fan. It's just like, yo, you don't give other people shine on your stage. You just don't. And unless it's like one of those partnerships like Nintendo, like GoldenEye.
Hmm.
I feel you on that. When there's a heritage there, you shout out Nintendo because they got the deal done. They all like you shot them out.
Yeah, they
You
came to
don't.
the table. They're playing fair. Like everybody is. This it's literally a partnership. They say
Yeah,
something about you. You
exactly.
say something about them.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no partnership putting Forza 5 on PlayStation. There's no
No,
partnership.
and no, which in you know in hindsight, I'm okay with like you said, Xbox trying to make more money off the game by putting it over on PlayStation 5 for people who would never, who would never
Right.
buy the PlayStation. I mean, the Xbox console. But yeah, at the same time, it's the principle. Like,
Yeah,
have
exactly.
some respect for your
Principalities
brand.
involved in
Like,
this. But
there's a ways to say like, hey, we're putting this game over on Xbox without like
right.
doing okay, or a PlayStation. They put it on PlayStation.
I feel you.
But
Now we can talk about this. Let's get to this
yes.
whole Marvel Rivals thing.
I was just watching or researching this because I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why did this happen?
Right.
So apparently, NetEase has been restructuring the entire company for
Right.
almost 2 years now, was what I read. And it just so happens that, the NetEase team over in Seattle, while their primary focus was the Marvel Rivals game, like they were on the chopping block. And I don't know, for I don't know, what are your thoughts, Webster? Because
It doesn't
I'm
make
look,
sense to me.
yeah. So okay, so we're in the same. I'm confused. I mean, I get it, right? Because cool. Um, Historically, developing games using anybody from the US, it costs more. We got a different standard
Right.
of pay and work over here, so it costs more to have a development team here. Cool, but if what I'm reading is correct, the development team was only 6 people. Like, how
Right.
much are they?
6 people and
Yeah,
in
how
charge
much
of
are they
level
charging
design.
them? Right, and right in charge of level design at that. Like, how many? Which, to their credit, the level design in Marvel Rivals I play very often. The level design is great. They have destructible levels. The levels they rebuild themselves and shift throughout the
Hmm.
gameplay. It really adds an extra layer to the gameplay that other games like Overwatch don't have. You can't destroy any piece of the level in Overwatch. It just doesn't happen. So
Right.
I'm like, unless NetEase was just using them to, like, I don't know, spruce things up on the levels, like just
Hmm.
add little features here and there to level design. I don't understand why they would cut a team that was focused on delivering something that literally makes you stand apart from your biggest competitor.
Right. And it's
And
six
it
people.
right, and it's only
And you're
six
making
people at
mad
that.
money from this game. So I don't
Yeah.
understand the cost cutting there.
Me either. So I saw a graph and they were like, since Marvel's Rivals like full release, because it was beta for a small period of time.
Right.
Since the full release, it has ranked in the top 5 across all available platforms since
Yep. I
its
saw that
release.
too.
And I'm like, with it being number one on Steam and PC. So I'm like, what? Even if, okay, we cut those people, we save, I don't know, $500,000, whatever, whatever. Looking at the profit margins, that don't make sense. Like, just pay those people. Like, what's the problem?
Exactly.
They're adding value to the game. They're working on something that you touted as a a differentiator between your game and the competing game. And not only that, it's good. They're doing a great job and it's noticeable. Like, the Marvel Rivals community, that we like the actual map. That's a big thing with Overwatch. Sometimes they get the maps right, sometimes they don't. And the community definitely expresses it, and the developers, they have to go back and retweak stuff all the time. With Marvel Rivals, yes, we're only in season one. Season zero was pretty good, but from my perspective, from my standpoint, the maps have been great. So, like, why are you cutting that team? Now, reading further into the NetEase situation, they did say, like, oh, we have everything that we need for the team. The Chinese team has it. That's like the base. Fine,
Right.
but still, you're cutting 6 people for what? Just to make things
It,
cheaper?
it's one of
When
those things where,
you net your net was three billion and your gross was over 2.5 billion, like, you fine.
right,
You making
exactly.
money.
You
So I don't
talk about
understand.
restructuring. You would think that, okay, even if this was in the works beforehand, right?
Mhm.
Before Marvel, right? Okay. Even so, you would think, hey, this team adds an immeasurable amount to this game. And only
Yes.
6 people. We are making money.
Right.
What is the purpose in cutting this team? It's
I
one of
can't
those things.
see
Okay,
one.
it sounds like there's no room. There was no room for reevaluation or pivoting, considering the circumstances. I hope all those guys find jobs. It's a
Definitely.
weird world we're living in right now,
Hmm.
but even from a business sense, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, it's 6 people. You ain't losing
Yeah.
that much when you making that much. And honestly, maybe, whatever the roadmap for the game was, this was always a plan. It may have been. It may
I
have been.
can't. I don't know if I can like see that though because
Me either, but it ain't my company. I ain't running
right.
it.
But I'm saying like we literally in season one.
Right,
Season zero happened. That season zero went for what, 2.5, 3 months. Now we're in season one. They just, which I thought this was so crazy. Like they were really, they really tried to sweep this layoff like kind of under the rug by announcing the two new characters and the new map that are coming halfway through season one at the same time that they're announcing these layoffs. I'm like, you're proving why the layoff is ridiculous. You're
right.
putting more characters in the game, and on top of that, a new map that this team worked on. What what's the what's the point? Like just let those six people keep their jobs and continue to do great at it. I don't understand that.
I agree. I agree. It doesn't make sense, but again, as above
And
our
then
pay
coming
grade.
out right, and then coming out and saying like, oh, well, the core team, we're not going to lose any quality from the game because the core team can take care of it. Like, what a slap in the face
Yeah,
to those people.
exactly. I'm glad you
Like,
brought that up. That is a slap in the face to that team.
that's crazy. But I don't know. That was very, very disheartening. That and finding that information out literally at the same time that I'm praising the game, like, oh my God, the Human Torch is gonna be amazing in the game. The Thing is gonna be amazing in the game. I
Right,
can't wait to play these characters in like 2 days now, a day or two now. And then they're like, oh yeah, but we laying off the map design team over in Seattle that
right.
brought you one of your favorite things about the game, which is the level design. I'm like, what? Why? That doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess consumers don't have that
It's the
much.
gaming world, and
Yeah, it's
while these
weird.
layoffs don't compare to what we've seen the past couple months and years, it's still heartbreaking, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. The
I agree.
way a lot of these companies are making money,
Yeah,
excuse
that's
me,
weird.
are making profits, not just money,
And
making
like
profits,
big profits.
big
Like,
profits.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You're in the billions with your gross.
Wow.
Like you should be fine. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Right. Well, as we see from the news, staff cuts don't typically make sense, except for the people who want people gone.
Right.
So
True. With
it's
the
all good.
news, right?
All right, let's get into our games for the week. Let's go to rapid fire. Rapid fire. First up, we got PGA Tour 2K25. It's golf. Do I really need to see much else? It's on the PS5, Xbox Series systems, and PC. Then we have X Out Resurface on the PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. And this is a reimagining of the 1990 action shoot 'em up X Out. Now, Brian, are you familiar with X Out?
What kind of game is that? It
It's
sounds
like
familiar,
a
but
spaceship shooter game. I never heard of it before.
okay.
Before I
No,
saw
no,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
No.
and it must be one of those obscure ones.
Okay.
And the next game, Lost Record Rage and Bloom, dropping on PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and dropping on PlayStation Plus. I guess the mid tier day one. This is one of those games that was announced at the showcase. This is an adventure game in the vein of Tell Me More is by Don't Not. So they did Tell Me More, and also I think they did the first what's the game from EA? Strange. I forget the adventure game they have on this. So
Wait,
this is one of those adventure games.
Life is
Set
Strange?
Life. Thank you. Life is Strange.
Oh,
Yes, I think they did the first one. So
mhm.
the first episode drops or is dropped now, but is in PlayStation Plus. What is it? Premium? What's the
Yeah.
mid tier?
The mid tier, ultimate, yes.
Okay, I think it's in that. But is an adventure game in that vein of the world set in the 1990s. So if you play
Okay.
Life is Strange, Tell Me More, you kind of get a sense of what the game is about.
Or is it
Now for our
extra?
highlights of the
One of those
week.
two. Mhm.
Speaking of Microsoft, as we talked
Let's
about
do it.
earlier, Avowed dropping on the Series X and S and PC, Xbox that is. Avowed is a first-person fantasy RPG from Obsidian Entertainment set in Eora, the world of Pillars of Eternity, and we're watching a trailer for that. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to play that. I might try to play it tonight for a little bit just to get a sense. This isn't really my wheelhouse of games, but I'm like, hey, it's on Game Pass. Why not?
Right.
So I'll probably try it out tonight. I'll let you guys know what I think of it next week. Next up, we have something that I don't think any of us would have ever put this on our bingo card as far as a Yakuza game when it was announced, but it's like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. It's on the PS4, 5, Xbox One, S, XPC. Can we talk about how they are just pumping out these Yakuza games? Or like a Dragon. I think they get away from the Yakuza title more or less like a Dragon. But how they pumping these games out? What are we getting like 2 a year now?
I mean, they really want you to. I don't know. I look at it and I feel like this is because who is the publisher for this game? Like
It's Sega, but I forget the studio.
Okay.
But it's like the one studio, and they're literally like pumping out all of these games, and now they're taking on Virtua Fighter. It's crazy their output. Like a lot of game studios can learn from them about how to maximize their assets and to get games out in a timely
I
fashion.
was just gonna say it's very reminiscent of like what Ubisoft did with damn, what is it? Assassin's Creed, the
Yeah, back
Assassin's
in the
Creed
day,
IP.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I feel like they might be going that way because they had a hit and it was like, okay, well, let's put them on a pirate ship now.
yeah. I mean, they doing some great things. And the funny thing is, I see a I see an appeal for these games
Mhm.
from like a wide range of people. Like I was on live with um Alfonso Lays on TikTok the other day. We were talking, and that's what he was playing. He was playing Like a Dragon, the man who forgot his name, like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who forgot his name. Maybe he was talking about how dope that game was, and that's not a game that he even think of picking up, but he got it, he played it, and he loved it. And just the series has such a wide appeal, and with them doing zany things like you're a pirate in Hawaii. I mean, they
Right.
just went to Hawaii what last year before, so it's been they're carving out a nice niche. So let me read the synopsis. Embark on the over the top modern day pirate adventure with an ex yakuza now pirate captain and his crew. Engage in exhilarating combat on land and sea in the hunt for lost memories and treasure. Now, right there just sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So we got a modern day pirate.
Yeah. Which I don't know. You can't really that sound fun to me.
It
Like
it it, it
I
does
don't
sound
even
fun. It does sound fun.
don't know no
Uh,
modern pirates in real life. So
yes,
let's
that's something
see.
we don't get ever. Now I think
Right.
about it.
Right.
All right. And last but not least, we have Blow It Up on the PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Blow It Up is a physics destruction game. Unlock new bombs. Explore the world. I want to say explode the world, considering the name.
Right.
And go on an epic journey of destruction. Who doesn't like blowing shit up?
I'm trying to understand. Like
All right. Well,
they
that's our
made a
first trailer. Blow It
yeah,
Up.
let's watch. Yeah. They made a game about bombs. Must be a US company.
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, it kind of gave me like Angry Birds vibe.
Yeah, definitely Angry Birds vibe.
Okay.
I like all
That's
of the little pixel blocks flying everywhere. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Very
Seeing it like
satisfying.
this, I didn't understand, but now I get it. Because Roblox, the kids gonna eat this up. Or
Okay.
Minecraft, whatever it's called. The kids are gonna love
Is that a bomb running around?
this. I got assume.
Okay, so it is. So it's like an overworld. Yeah, I'm assuming you get to each level from the overworld. Okay,
Interesting.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
All right. Next up we have Avowed.
Avowed. The
Ambassador Volshin Yilgar at your service. His Majesty names you our Imperial Envoy, an extension of the throne's authority. You've seen how wild the living lands has become, both in nature and in politics. The source of the blight eludes us still. Just be careful. The Empire doesn't have many friends on these shores. And the Emperor would never forgive me if anything happened to you.
And I feel like, and I haven't watched any reviews on this.
But let's not dwell on unpleasant matters.
I think it's running like an 80 on Metacritic, something like that. Why is it that we just crap on games that get like less than a 90 nowadays?
Because
sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own.
Console developers and things who make it so much. Oh, we're running at 60.
There is no easy path.
We're running at 800,000 refresh rate frames. Boosting up the head of the consumer, and then when you get a game that's not matching that, it's like,
as will be the consequences.
Because I think when I was getting this together, I saw that IGN had given it 7, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm like, oh, that's respectable.
Go meet it.
I don't expect every game to be a 9 or 85. Look, a 70 is more than reasonable for a game like this.
Oh yeah,
and I think too. I think that first of all, we've talked before. A lot of these game journalists, they come off with some bullshit in their reviews, and they nitpick. It's like, okay, you know how you go and you're a traveling man. You just been on the road. You know how you could look at hotel reviews and you see people who gave like 2s and 1s.
Yeah.
And you read the review and you're like, this has nothing to do with the hotel. The hotel has no control over this.
Right.
You're like, oh, there was somebody outside playing music and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you can't help what was going on a block away. Like, what the, like, it's weird. Like, it's kind of crazy in that regard. So it's one of those things where I feel like reviewing a nitpick for everything, and it try to find reasons sometimes to downgrade a game. I'm not saying this case in Avowed, but we've seen many reviews where we see reviews and we're like, what you're saying doesn't match your number. Or are you really criticizing for that? It's so subjective and about interpretation a lot of times. And so I tend not to take any of those with more than a grain of salt. But so that was Avowed. Yes.
I'm the same way. The reason I'm like that is because I don't know, seeing that we like kind of report on games ourselves, I understand that a lot of times people do things like reviews and things because they want to put something out there that is unique, an opinion that is not like all the others, so that they can draw more attention. So sometimes I feel like what you're talking about with these quote unquote journalists or whatever, these bloggers and things, they nitpick at the game because they're trying to find something that can make their opinion stand out from the rest or be different to draw more people in. But when you do that, it's just it comes off as like you just hating and you nitpicking and you finding any little thing, and it don't have to be like that. You could just be like, oh, it's a solid game, X, Y, and Z. Let it be that. Like, it doesn't make sense to try to shit on the game just so you can say, oh, okay, well, I said something about the game and nobody else said. Like, okay, but what you had to say was some bullshit, so it don't matter.
Right. I feel you. I totally agree with you. I think so much of it is clickbait and trying to drive traffic.
Yes. Definitely.
I think that they really forget about the gameplay. And
then
really
y'all not even sitting with these games. Y'all getting the early access for, you know what I'm saying, promoting the game, and because you work for a media company, a week before the game comes out, and then I don't know, your opinion's supposed to be posted and up, within a day of the game's release. Like, you're not even really spending time with the game. Like,
exactly.
How are you critiquing like that? But I don't know. I don't get paid.
Yeah,
So
exactly. We just do it for fun. Maybe that's the difference. We'll give our honest opinion because we do it for fun.
definitely.
And maybe our perspective is a bit different because we would do it for fun.
Right.
So, all right, last but not least, a game that is guaranteed to be fun. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. That's just a hell of a title. How can you not smile and have fun with that title?
Right. But this is one of, I think this is one of the trailers from the State of Play. When they showed us at the State of Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I'll bet
definitely
that missing
excited
eye
for
makes you
it. I don't
feel
know,
like
for
a
whatever
real
reason,
swashbuckler.
I'm intrigued
doesn't
with the whole battling your boat.
Wonder how you'll look
power
missing
thing.
both.
Like I want to customize my own power. I want to
I
customize
had
my
no
own power
clue.
shit and take it out
Was
to sea
I?
and blow up all the rest of the shit too.
I think
This
I'm
looks,
probably
really good.
not a great person. I mean, there's a chance I've been a real piece of shit in my time.
I thought it was interesting when they said it in Hawaii.
Bloodshed.
In Pearl Harbor.
No room for honest
I'm
living.
True.
That said, what matters to me is that I think you properly.
I want to actually see the stuff you read about in school. You know, that you'll see when you're older.
Where do you
stuff.
find a pirate
You got
ship? That's
yourself
what
a
I
deal,
want.
Noah.
That's what I'm
Once I
saying.
catch a
Like I
boat,
never
I'm
seen.
busting
What
you out of this
we have
place.
pirates. to
That's a
this
promise
day.
between
Like,
men.
modern pirates, like are they out there? And what kind of ships they drop in? Is it these?
200
Well,
years
you know
ago,
they have
pirates
from the-
buried a boatload of treasure, $1
They
billion
got yachts
worth,
now
in the
with
Palmyra
guns
Atoll.
And why are there
The
other
different
pirate
groups,
ships?
they're after the same thing.
And the
Samoa
Pirate
Joe?
Coliseum in particular can't be sitting idle while there's money to make.
Could be Atlantis wants to test us.
I'm even more intrigued by this game just because it's Samoa
Just
Joe.
in time to chug the water.
The dissolution's in full effect. There's still tons of Yakuza who need you to show them a home.
We've been crawling on our hands and knees since it all went to shit under your watch. Answer for that, why don't you?
Let me pay this clown back for the nick he gave you. No matter who I am or where I come from, if I just stand by and watch, how can I call myself a man?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I
Yeah.
never played a Like a Dragon, Yakuza, nothing, but I want to play this one.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. I think you'll
Okay.
like it.
Cool.
All right. So, Brian, I know you're just getting back from an excursion, but you got anything dropping this week?
Not currently. I mean, I was planning on doing something for the State of Play, but you know, I didn't really see a whole lot that I was super like, oh, I want to talk about this. Then we just kind of covered it here, so I'm good with that. Yeah, I don't have anything planned right now. I think the next thing I will discuss though is this new Drake and Party Next Door album that
Okay.
I've been really enjoying. And then something else may pop up in the gaming space that I'll decide to tackle. But other
Okay.
than that, I'm just trying to get back to regular life after an amazing vacation.
Understood.
What about yourself? What you doing?
Let's see. Episode 186 of the podcast dropped with my interview of Brian Covington, creator of the novel series Between Magic and Dreams. So that's out on all podcast platforms except for YouTube Music, and YouTube Music will be out at time of this recording tomorrow. So it is on all podcast platforms by the time you guys see this. My interview with Chris Classic of Savoir Faire dropped on the website and YouTube this week as well, so check that out. My interview with Dean Rogers of the USS Mae Jameson of Starfleet International from Farpoint Convention dropped as well, so that's out. And then my interview with John and Lisa from I miss out the noise. Background Noise Comics. I want to say Background Comics.
Oh,
Background Noise Comics drops time of this recording tomorrow. So by the time you guys see us, it'll be out. And that was just a really fun interview. They have a Kickstarter that's out now, and they literally John's an artist, Lisa's a writer, and they are basically creating comics based on real life situations in their relationship.
okay,
And
that's cool.
they have a new Kickstarter called Love Stories 365, where literally they created a new comic every single day for a whole year. And it was
Oh,
just
that's
it was so cool
cool.
talking to them and seeing some of that stuff is really fun. So I think people really enjoy it.
Dope. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Check
So
that
that's
out.
all for us. You know where you guys are, Nerds of the World. Make sure you continue to follow us all social networks, on Twitter at the NRW, on Instagram at New Release Wednesday, and of course, you're currently on YouTube. So make sure you like, you share, and subscribe.